And now we are officially going to kickstart the event. Is everyone tired of hearing my voice? Am I getting too boring? You can be honest, it's fine. Are you sure? Well, to spice things up a little bit, I'm going to invite my co-host for the evening, Miss Harrow Bengalee, ladies and gentlemen. Now, me and Javira, we go way back. When I say way back, I mean I was probably 3 years old when I started Harrow Bengalee Association, and Javira was probably...
Not born yet, most likely.
Javira was probably nearing 1 at the time. Now, tonight, well, personally, this evening holds a very special place in my heart. As we've already mentioned, I grew up with Harrow Bengalee Association, and it's where I actually first learned to dance, to sing, to perform, and now actually present on television. And all of that would never have happened if I didn't have this community here. So it's personally a very special journey for me. And among many individuals who are in this room, and not in this room also, like Deepa Dasanti, who's contributed immensely to the cultural progression of Harrow Bengalee Association. But also there's Jaharanti, who's not here in this room with us today, but also has contributed quite immensely, and Ms. Shajali Rai, who's contributed again culturally to the singing performances. But I do want to specifically mention the honour of Niramuddin Aunty, who's been mentioned quite a few times now, and I think there's some confusions around, is it the 30th anniversary? Is it the 36th? So to clarify and to put the confusions away, it's officially the 36th anniversary, but I do want to highlight that this function, the reason why we're all here in this room, is to commemorate the efforts that Niramuddin Aunty took to raise the fund with the National Lottery in order for us to celebrate this, which would have been the 30th anniversary of HBA. Auntie's belief was very simple, but powerful. She wanted every single young person that deserved a chance to express themselves to be seen and to shine under one sky. And essentially, it's why we're all here today. We are also grateful to the National Lottery for awarding us the grant to be able to celebrate this amazing and prosperous occasion and to create lasting memories. So this evening's program will take you through HBA's incredible 30/36/42. We're catching on to this now, year journey. But we'll be celebrating with speeches, videos, dramas, singing, dancing, and a whole lot of entertainment. So this is only just the beginning, and we're all here to experience the heart of HBA, its resilience, its talent, and its community spirit.
Now, I'd like to give everyone a warm welcome from myself, and just like to say that given the diversity in tonight's audience and the presence of many distinguished guests, most of tonight's program will be conducted in English to ensure that everyone feels included. And of course, if we make any small mistakes along the way, we do ask for your kind understanding and forgiveness. Tonight is about community, togetherness, and joy.
Right, back to the boring person. So before we begin... I'm going to continue. Dad loves to interrupt me. Can you guys tell that we're relating? So again, back to the boring person. Before we begin, I'm just going to talk everyone through some housekeeping. So, everyone, please ensure that your mobile phones are kept on silent or turned off. There will be numerous performances, and we do want to maintain the respect throughout the evening. Fire exits are located in the back, so in case of any fire alarms, it is not a drill, it is an actual fire alarm, so please head towards the exit of the building. And then finally, you are more than welcome to take photographs throughout the night. I do request aunties, please do not gather into crowds whilst there are performances going on. You're more than welcome to do that later on in the evening. You're more than welcome to take pictures of performers whilst they're on stage. But all we request is respect and silence and concentration throughout the evening.
And with that, it gives me great pride and joy to officially open the 36th anniversary celebrations of Harrow Bengalee Association.
Thank you all for being here, and we are so excited to celebrate the past, the future, and the bright future that lies ahead. Together under one sky. So to kick off the entertainment for the evening, we're actually going to begin with a very special individual who is a dear heart of our community, and it's Shahzad Hussain, a Bhaiya who has had astonishing achievements throughout his life, and essentially we'll be watching a very short video on just a little bit of recap on these achievements. Now, I will not do justice by describing or giving an intro to Bhaiya and everything that he's achieved, so I would love to invite on stage Snigdha, his sister, to give a little bit of intro into the video, and then we'll absolutely dive into the video itself. So Snigdha, would you like to come up and say a few words? And Shahzad Bhaiya as well.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, distinguished guests and members of HBA. It is a... Oh. Hello? It's okay. It is a great privilege to be here and to represent my brother Shaz and to celebrate the 36th HBA anniversary. We sincerely thank the President and Nira Matin Auntie for this opportunity today. It is my honor to introduce to you a member of our community, Mohammed Shaz Hussain, who some of you may already have the greatest pleasure of knowing. Shaz is a remarkable individual whose life defies every limit others may have imagined. Born lifeless, without oxygen for the first 20 minutes of his existence, doctors didn't expect him to survive, let alone thrive. But today, that same person stands as a testament to perseverance, resilience, and brilliance. Living with cerebral palsy, unable to walk and navigating a speech impediment, he has defied every expectation laid before him. A double university graduate with both a bachelor's and master's degree in software and graphic design. He has carved out a space in the tech and creative industries as a skilled freelance web developer and interactive multimedia designer. His talent shines in everything from dynamic websites to game development, blending creativity with technical prowess. His passion lies in creating accessible experiences and equal opportunities for others with disabilities. Shaz also develops striking visual content for clients worldwide, blending technical skill with a deeply unique artistic perspective. Adrenaline fuels his free spirit. He's a skydiver, a race car enthusiast, and someone who lives beyond the boundaries of physical limitation. As a songwriter, he gives voice to emotion and experience. As a songwriter, he gives voice to emotion and experience. As a media-savvy advocate, he lends his insight to campaign strategies and interactive projects that make real impact. A proud ambassador for special effect, he champions inclusive gaming and digital equality. He's helped raise awareness and support for people with disabilities, using his own life as proof that nothing is impossible. As a charity ambassador, Shaz speaks through action and presence, challenging perception of disability and advocating for inclusion, technology access, and creativity as a universal language. His efforts have earned him major recognition, from being featured in local newspapers to meeting the British Prime Minister and receiving multiple prestigious Princess Diana Awards, among other honours. He isn't just a survivor, he is a creator, a motivator, a trailblazer, and a giver. A person who redefines what it means to live with disability and who lifts others as he climbs. May I now introduce Shaz Hussain, who will present this video. And thank you very much for everyone's time. Thank you. like to say something. He said, how can he follow that from my dear sister? And thank you, Sadia, for the introduction.
So, my name is Shazad Hossein and I was born with cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is a form of brain damage usually caused by lack of oxygen. In my case it affects my speech, as you can tell, limb movements, and means I use a wheelchair. Mentally I am with it, well, as much as anyone can be, although some people might question that. I have been invited to talk with you about myself, which I hate doing, but hey, here we are. So, growing up I attended 2 special educational needs primary schools. This is due to my family moving to Bushy, as opposed to getting expelled. Towards the end of my last few years of my primary school life I had to attend a everyday mainstream school 3 times a week, as it was decided that my mental capacity was more suited to the standard everyday curriculum. This led to me attending a mainstream secondary school that had a special unit for pupils with disabilities, for example to help with dictation and writing. From a young age I was always on a computer, therefore, in school I was that geek with a laptop. Although, this sometimes made me cool as I could play music in class. Whilst I was at school, I noticed there was a lot of things I was unable to do, for example, playing football, etc. Therefore, I wanted to change that and discover how I could do stuff without any limits. This led me to help create a new sport at the time called wheelchair football, which helped other people with disabilities experience a team sport and get a sense of competitive spirit. My ambition was to make wheelchair football become a national sport, and so, me and my team often went to other colleges to teach them how to play. Always being interested in charity work and fundraising, with the help of wheelchair football I was able to organize a number of charity events and matches, occasionally with celebrity visits such like Graham Taylor. Due to this success, I was awarded a Diana Princess of Wales Trust Award for outstanding contributions to the lives of others. This led to my face being visible on a national level, including newspaper articles, as well as TV interviews. My picture was then used for the Princess of Diana Award publications the next year. This was one of my greatest achievements at the time, or so I thought, until I got the privilege of being chosen to be one of the Queen's Jubilee runners to carry the torch for the Commonwealth Games of 2002. I managed to complete my GCSEs whilst making a little bit of money on the side by giving people custom ringtones and mobile phone logos. Younger people won't understand this. This was one of the benefits of being a geek. Moving on, I was always an adrenaline junkie despite having a disability. One of my life goals was to do a skydive for charity, which I was able to achieve after jumping out of an airplane at 13,000 feet and raising money for Keach Cottage Children's Hospice. Sadly, I forgot to shave on the day. Back to earth, I went on to 6th form and got 5A/A2 levels in Advanced IT, Business Studies and Media Studies. If I am honest, my grades could have been better, but being a teenager had created other distractions. After deliberating on a few different options, I decided to go to the University of Hertfordshire and live in, much to my mum's surprise. At the beginning of university, they decided that I would do my degree at a slower pace than other students, as they said I would not be able to keep up. This led me to my second greatest achievement for me personally, as after 3 months they admitted that they were wrong and gave me the option to catch up and continue with my peers at the same pace. It was a crazy Christmas holiday that year where I had to do 3 months of coursework in 6 weeks, but it was worth it. My degree was in Software Systems for the Arts and Media, which is a fancy name for programming and developing interactive media. Equal opportunities has been something that is very important for me, not only for myself but to help others have access to things that they should. This is something that I have always been passionate about since a young age, and I always wanted to use my voice, in a matter of speaking, to help raise awareness. I did this by creating a number of campaigns and tried to get as many organizations involved. Whilst I was doing my degree, I managed to get elected twice as Students with Disabilities Officer for the Student Union. During this, I campaigned for equal opportunities, including access to one of the law campuses which, ironically, was not accessible for people with disabilities. I also did a lot of other things to help raise awareness and equality, which sometimes resulted in the police getting called out. However, I won't go into that at the moment. My other passion from a very young age has been songwriting, which not many people knew about. Out of curiosity, one year I entered the UK songwriting contest with a few of my lyrics and was a finalist/semi-finalist for 3 consecutive years. One of my life goals is to have one of my songs played on the radio, or YouTube, or TikTok, whatever platform is relevant at the moment. My life wouldn't be my life without music, and to this day this has still not changed. I remember the days when I used to carry either a Walkman or a cassette player whenever me and my family went somewhere. Like anybody that loves music, I was always making mixtapes back in the day, which led me to become interested in DJing. If you imagine my hands on a DJ deck, you can probably imagine the outcome of that. Therefore, using one of the major DJing softwares, I managed to devise a way of using other equipment in place of decks to create a way for people with disabilities to DJ. I made a public tutorial on how to achieve this, and the company behind the software were so impressed that they included it on their website. This was another proud moment, but this does not mean I am a very good DJ. Like some people, once you get into DJing you think about producing music, therefore I am what you might call a bedroom producer, but this is where my producer skills still remain. My love for music helped me to develop a piece of software that would help people that have speech impairments. I was once in a situation where I had one afternoon to order tickets for a specific concert, but I didn't have anyone to help make the call. Therefore, I spent 2 hours frantically writing a program that would read out sentences that I could prepare in advance and play it when the person on the other end asked the questions. To my amazement, I managed to buy the tickets that evening using the new program I developed. I decided to release it for free under the name PumpSpeak. The first version was featured on a software downloads website and had positive feedback and reviews. PumpSpeak has been downloaded over 500,000 times since. During the pandemic, I also created a web application as I felt that there was a lot of people struggling with their overwhelming thoughts and mental health. Therefore, I developed ClarifyMyMind.com. The website allows people to list everything that is on their mind in whatever order, and allows them to think about each thought from a scale of 1 to 10. It then allows them to decide whether they personally can really do something about each item at the moment. The individual is then provided with 3 different pie charts to help visualize their thoughts that are worth thinking about at the present and maybe what they have time to think about. Jumping back to my degree, as I was already doing a lot of the work at a young age as a hobby, I often helped my colleagues, and I will never forget the time when we as a group stayed up all night in the library trying to meet a deadline, and one of my friends at the very last minute had a bug in his project. This meant that it wouldn't work. I had 5 minutes to find and fix the issue before the deadline was up. To this day I remember managing to fix the problem with 2 minutes to go and slamming the table in joy whilst telling my friend to take it and run. There was a lot of Red Bull and caffeine involved. But my helping my friends was always something I enjoyed, as it meant that I could give back something whilst always being reliant on help. I managed to help one of my other good friends become the student union president by managing and producing his campaigns. When I say very good friend, he gave me the honor of me being his best man at his wedding. Again, the speech was interesting, but it got a lot of laughs, so I take it as a good sign. Another proud moment was when we had to design a public project as part of our degree, resulting in my project being chosen to represent my degree year group in the RSA, Royal Society of Arts, Design Directions Awards competition. Eventually I managed to complete my degree with my classmates with a BSc with honors with a 2-1. For my final project, I created an interactive accessible theme park that both people with disabilities and able-bodies could use. Again, for younger people this was before mainstream VR. To finish my degree, I was part of a team that had to display everyone's work for public viewing. I developed the user interface that will be used on 50 computers as part of the exhibition. I then decided to do a master's in 3D digital animation. It was at this time that I decided to do a second skydive for charity. The charity is called Special Effect, who I got involved with and were at the beginning of their journey of helping people access gaming and communication. Special Effect are a charity that help people with disabilities not only access gaming but help them communicate and improve their quality of life. After doing quite a bit of work for Special Effect, such like digital marketing and designing backdrop for their stall at Eurogamer, I was asked to become an ambassador. As part of my ambassador role, I took part in the grand opening by having a race with the Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron. To say that I was nervous was a bit of an understatement, but I will never forget how competitive he got towards the end and him shaking the steering wheel in an effort to beat me. In the end, I done what any good ambassador would do and let him catch up. Not to embarrass him too much. I met David Cameron again a few years later at the opening of the new Special Effect Accessible Gaming Center. Some people might think that this is quite a high point in my life, and it was. However, I was invited back to my secondary school as a guest teacher to teach film editing to 2 Year 10 groups. Obviously, the thought of me teaching a class of Year 10s with my disability was nerve-wracking at best, but I managed to engage with the students and keep it fun. Teaching the students and seeing them having fun irrelevant of my disability was one of the best moments of my life. After university, I started my own business in digital media and web design. This included a variety of work from software design to video production. Alongside my work, my enthusiasm for equal opportunities never stopped. Often the two would meet. For example, I am often invited as a consultant to make web applications more accessible. Once I was asked to share my knowledge and experience to help an online educational gaming platform to make their products more inclusive. I was also invited to Sony PlayStation HQ in London as part of the R&D for their accessible controller. I have also been asked to visit some of the major game development companies such as EA and Codemasters, as well as a few Formula One teams to help with the development of accessibility and diversity. As some of you might have guessed, I have always been a car guy, and there have been a few times when I have driven a car. However, I do not trust myself enough to drive publicly, as that might end up badly. Fortunately, my love for cars and my adrenaline addiction often come together. I regularly get invited to special annual events at iconic racetracks as part of the British Racing Greats, which is a charity event. In addition to this, I often attend track days in iconic cars, whether that be in the UK or abroad. A few years ago, I was fortunate enough to take my car on an 8-week road trip with my friend Becky across Europe. That was an amazing trip, though I will not go into too much detail as that will be chaotic. But there were many memorable moments. For example, unleashing my car on the Autobahn, my car is tuned, to say the least, and visiting iconic car factories such as AMG, Pagani, Ferrari, Lamborghini to name a few. I am also an avid skier, and have been to the snowy mountains of Andorra. I was part of a group of other accessible skiers, although I was the only one to do the 1-kilometer summit challenge out of my peers. All I can say is that it was amazing. On the note of coming back down, these days I still do digital media such as designing and making websites for local businesses, as well as producing promotional videos. I have added 3D design and printing to my armory, which leads me back to one of my favorite things to do for work. I am often asked to design things for people with disabilities to help them either communicate, play games, or to live life, and this helps me to achieve my overall life goal of equal opportunities. So, what are the takeaways from me babbling on? Many people look at me and think how amazing I am. Many people look at me and think something else, but I won't go into that. The truth is that I personally don't think I am different in any shape or form to other people, apart from the obvious. I am thankful to the Almighty Allah for the opportunities that He has given me, and I am grateful to everyone that has helped me. But what does help mean? In terms of education, I am both a scientist and an artist, but if you look at my life in a scientific view, it is a number of events that has led to all these achievements. But what would have happened if that one random stranger did not open the door for me that one time? Or help me out of a bus that had a faulty ramp? It could have led to me being stuck, and therefore it could have changed my whole life. I do not think my disability is a disability. I think it has given me a different outlook on life, and it has helped me see how one act of kindness can lead to so much opportunity. So, the next time you instinctively open the door for someone, remember you might have changed their lives into something great. One of my aims is to inspire people as they have inspired me, and out of the number of people that has become inspirational for me is very relevant today. When me and my family moved to this area, we often had visits from someone special, and this person always believed in me and is the reason why I decided to do this presentation. She always said I was amazing, but we all know that she was incredible. So, I would like to thank and dedicate this presentation to Shireen Auntie and her family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shazmir. That was absolutely incredible. And to echo the last bit of your video, I think every single person in this room thinks you are amazing and nothing less than that. One last round of applause for Claire. Before we go on a quick food break, I would like to invite just one last speaker for this first half of the show. I can't see him in the room, but Councillor Gareth Thomas, if he's in this room. Oh, sorry. Mayor Gareth Thomas. Member of Parliament.
I almost got promoted there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here, and I apologise for being late. I don't know where Shaz has gone, but he was just incredible, wasn't he? A real honour and a privilege to listen to him. It's a particular pleasure to come along and celebrate the first 30 years of the Harrow Bengalee Association, and I'm planning to be around for the 100th. Just to warn people in the room, because the tradition of a strong Bangladeshi community in Harrow is one that I've been aware of for a very long time. The Bangladeshi community is not the biggest community by any stretch of the imagination in Harrow, but it's one of the most long-standing communities, and it's a privilege to be able to come along again this year and celebrate with you the strength of the community. I know some of you are linked to Harrow, but have not been allowed to live within the borough of Harrow. Maybe you're in Bushey or Brent, very unfortunate if you're in Brent, or Ealing, terrible place I know, and worse, Hillingdon. And some of you in Harrow, I know, don't live in the right bit of Harrow. Maybe you live in Stanmore, or Pinner, or Kenton. But obviously, if you live in Wealdstone, or Central Harrow, or Rayners Lane, or North Harrow, or South Harrow, or Harrow on the Hill, then you are the elite of the Bangladeshi community in the UK. It's great to come together, and it's great to come and celebrate Bangladesh as well as the community here in Harrow, because Bangladesh, as you all know far better than I do, has been through some tough times and is coming out of those tough times just recently in terms of the tensions in the country. And as Britain has a long-standing relationship with Bangladesh, it is very important that over the months and years to come that we stand with the people of Bangladesh, build trade, build links, build the ties that you are all familiar with. And I am very determined that we do that. We're going to have extra airport capacity, and one of the things I would love to see is a direct flight again from Heathrow, maybe, to Dhaka in Bangladesh, to make it easier for those links to come. But I just want to check, is anybody hungry? Okay. Would you like me to carry on for 30 minutes rather than an hour and a half? Is that all right? Just it's lovely to be here. Thanks very much for the invitation.
And on the note of food, it is time for a quick break. We'll be having a quick 15-minute break for food. I will be calling it out in segments just to ensure that there are no huge crowds. So we'll start off with this side of the room, and then I'll call each side one by one, but it will be a 15-minute break until we commence with the rest of the entertainment for the night. So if this side of the room wants to begin by heading outside for their food, that'd be great. For the second segment of the HBA 30th anniversary, which is the drama Under One Sky.
Happy belated Mahashivratri to everyone. This one's for Shiva.
সব ঠিকঠাক আছে তো? জি ভাইয়া সব ঠিক আছে। আগে তো ঠিক। জি ভাইয়া সব ঠিক আছে। আগে ঠিক করে রেখেছিলাম। এখন খালি একটু কি সাহায্য করতে পারি? একটু যদি অবশ্যই অবশ্যই নিশ্চয়ই করব। করব না কেন?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এখানেই হবে গেস্টের বসানোর জন্য।
আপনি যদি একটু গেস্টদের বসানোর ব্যবস্থা করতেন প্রিয়া।
জি জি অবশ্যই, আমাদের ব্যবস্থা আছে, আমরা গেস্টের জন্য অপেক্ষা করছি, গেস্ট আমাদের এখনই এসে পড়বেন।
আমাদের গেস্টদের আসতে একটু দেরি হচ্ছে, বাট ওনারা আসছেন।
আমাদের গেস্ট আসতে দেরি করছে, আসলে আমরা অনুষ্ঠান শুরু করব। আমরা আমাদের গেস্টের জন্য অপেক্ষা করছি, আমাদের গেস্টরা এখনই এসে পড়বেন, আপনারা ধৈর্য ধরে সহকারে থাকুন, আমাদের গেস্টরা আসলেই আমরা অনুষ্ঠান শুরু করে দেবো এখনই। এই যে আসুন আসুন আসুন, এই আসুন আসুন, বসুন বসুন, প্লিজ প্লিজ বসুন। আপনি বসুন।
সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, প্রথমে আমার সালাম এবং শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। আপনারা যারা দূর দূরান্ত থেকে এসেছেন, আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগতম। আজ হ্যারো বেঙ্গলি অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের 36তম জন্মবার্ষিকী উপলক্ষে আমরা একটি বিচিত্রা অনুষ্ঠানের আয়োজন করেছি। আমাদের সঙ্গে যে সমস্ত গুণী বক্তা আছেন তাদের কাছে জানব কিভাবে কেমন করে হ্যারো বেঙ্গলি অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের উৎপত্তি ঘটল। এই অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের জন্মলগ্ন থেকে এ পর্যন্ত যে পথ চলা তার ঘটনাগুলি সংক্ষিপ্ত আকারে তাদের কাছে জানব এবং এরপর থাকবে নাচ গান। এখন আমি এই অনুষ্ঠানের পরবর্তী পর্ব পরিচালনা করার জন্য আমার সহকর্মী জনাব জামান সাহেবকে অনুরোধ করছি।
ধন্যবাদ মনিকা, ধন্যবাদ, অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ।
মনিকা,
উপস্থিত মহামান্য অতিথি দর্শক শ্রোতা, আপনাদের সবাইকে আমার সালাম। গুড ইভিনিং অল। আজকের এই সুন্দর সন্ধ্যার প্রথম প্রহরে আমাদের এই বিচিত্র অনুষ্ঠানে সবাইকে আমি সাদর সম্ভাষণ জানাচ্ছি। সারাটা অনুষ্ঠান জুড়ে আমি জামান এবং আমার সহকর্মী মনিকা আপনাদের সঙ্গে থাকব। আশা করছি আপনারাও আমাদের সঙ্গ দেবেন। হ্যাঁ, অনুষ্ঠানের শুরুতে আমার একটি বিনীত নিবেদন রয়েছে, সেটি হচ্ছে এই মঞ্চ থেকে অনুষ্ঠান চলাকালে আপনার নীরব থেকে সবাইকে অনুষ্ঠানটি উপভোগ করার সুযোগ করে দেবেন। আর হ্যাঁ, যাদের সঙ্গে আমাদের ছোট্ট ছোটমণিরা রয়েছে তারা যেন এই স্টেজে ছোটাছুটি না করে হলের মধ্যে, সেদিকে আপনারা লক্ষ্য রাখবেন। এবারে আসছি আমাদের আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানের প্রথমেই রয়েছে আমাদের একটি বক্তব্য। হ্যাঁ, এই বক্তব্য রাখার জন্য প্রথমেই আমরা তাকে নির্বাচিত করেছি। তিনি আপনাদের অনেকের কাছে পরিচিত মুখ, যিনি হ্যারো বাংলা অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের সঙ্গে জন্মলগ্ন থেকে ছিলেন এবং এখনও রয়েছেন। তিনি হলেন আমাদের শ্রদ্ধাভাজন ম্যাডাম আঞ্জুমানা খান। আমি তাকে এই বিয়ের এই হাঁটি পার করে 34 বছর পেরিয়ে গেছে, তারপরে কিছু বক্তব্য রাখার জন্য আহ্বান করছি। Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our respected and well-known with our local community, Madam Anjumana Khanam, to give her speech. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for listening, and thank you for being here and inviting me as a guest of honor here to say something about how Harrow Bengalee Association evolved. Before that, how Harrow Bangla School, so-called Harrow Bangla School in 1980s we started. We started as a group when we came here in 80s. There were no Bengali students. We felt that there is nobody who can help the children. Only we have to take over. So some Bengali people, consisting of my friend, Mrs. Razia Khan, and other friends together, we got together and decided that we ought to sit down and do some voluntary school. And then we were under the impression that we have to have a certain area. We don't have money, and our children need Bengali as the language, and that's the media of. They're already bilingual. In other words, they will be learning English as a host language. There is no doubt about it. They have to learn it to compete in this world. But at the same time, we don't want to die our language. We want our children to be bilingual. For that reason, we decided that we should take an area where we can hire an area where we can have some voluntary school. I don't want to make it longer, but what happened is that, but fortunately, we found a school. I found actually Harrow Williston Baptist Church, which is right near Williston and right on the main street of Harrow Williston. So we decided to go and see the pastor of the church, and we asked them that can we hire this, and they said yes, with nominal fee you can. So we decided to have it, and at that time we had 3-4 teachers, but only few children. I have 4 children, and they are all in their young age, starting from 3, 5, 7, 9. And the others are children as well, so we decided we have to do it. So at the end, they agreed, and we started teaching, and slowly our number increased. Slowly, with 2 teachers, or 3 teachers actually, we could manage to have school with 34 children. That was amazing. The encouragement was so good, and now too short, okay. That was good, and because of the EEC directive about the bilingualism, and also the Bullock report told us about it, so we need to keep that, and so we continued doing it, and then we had a celebration of informal celebration by all the dignitaries from Harrow Council. Now I know all the dignitaries here, and we have our every respect for listening to what I was saying. At that time, this dignitaries, somebody called Gillian March. She was the Harrow Community Relation Office Council. The councillor, the MP, the local MP, they're all present there, which made us so happy. And the Harrow Observer was there, and they also interviewed us. And so people who were present there, Anthony Grant, he was MP, councillor, and Labour Chief Bangladesh High Commission, Mr. Fariduddin, and the Harrow Community Relation Officer. She was there, and she donated £500 at that spot when she realized that we are so much keen, and children and parents are so keen. So our celebration was not only cultural, but for teaching children Bengali, and we wanted to make the children to learn Bengali same time with English. In other words, we want to make them well conversant in English and Bengali at the same time. And we felt really, really happy about it, and we got a lot of encouragement. We continued till 1984, and unfortunately my husband, who was the chairman, and somebody called Mr. Chaudhry, Ghulam Chaudhry was the chairperson, and my husband fell ill in 1984, but it was going so well that we couldn't stop it, but my husband became unwell and he died of cancer. Unfortunately, that made me withdraw from there, and then this became a Harrow Bengalee Association. And I feel very proud that Harrow Bengalee Association continued for 35 years, and they're doing so well. I have attended Harrow Bengalee Community Association before, and I was invited as a chief guest in there, and I really enjoyed that too. And they're doing so well that I can see that 100 years of this going and further. That would be great to see them. And I also think that I'm honored, and she's honored as well. She's my friend who did the cultural side of it as well as the teaching. We are very, very honored. And thank you very much for allowing us to say something what we wanted to say. Thank you.
অশেষ ধন্যবাদ ম্যাডাম আজিমুনা খানম আপনার সুন্দর সাবলীল বক্তব্যের মাঝে এইচবির কিছু ইতিহাস আমাদের মাঝে তুলে ধরার জন্য আপনাকে আবারও ধন্যবাদ। থ্যাংক ইউ। নাও our next speaker, তিনি হচ্ছেন আমাদের একান্ত প্রিয়জন, হাস্যজল মুখ, সবার শ্রদ্ধার ভাজন, আমাদের ম্যাডাম রাজিয়া আলম খান। আমি ওনাকে সংক্ষিপ্ত আকারে তার অভিজ্ঞতা সম্পর্কে এইচবিএ সম্পর্কে বলার জন্য আহ্বান করছি। মিস আলম হিয়ার।
ভাই, প্রথমে আপনাকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ এবং আমাকে ডাকার জন্য, এখানে আসার জন্য। সে বহু বছর আগের কথা আমার সব মনেও নেই। আমরা কজন মিলে দেখলাম যে আমাদের ছেলেমেয়েরা বাংলা বলে না, কী করে তাদের বাংলা বলাতে হবে, কারণ তারা তো স্কুলে ইংলিশ নিজেরা ইংলিশ বলে এরকম। তখন আমরা একটি স্কুল আরম্ভ করলাম, মিসেস খানম, মাইসেলফ আর ফিউ আদার্স। তো বাচ্চারা যখন আসতো স্কুল ভিতরে ঢোকার সাথে সাথে আমার রেস্ট্রিকশন ছিল একটা ইংলিশ ওখানে হবে না, সব বাংলা হবে। চাইতো না বলতে, তো অনেক করে যে যার মতো অ্যাকশন দিয়ে বলতেন। তারপরে কিছু লোক জয়েন করলেন অ্যাডাল্ট, যাদের হাজব্যান্ড বেঙ্গলি কিন্তু তারা নন বেঙ্গলি স্পিকিং, তখন তারাও স্কুলে জয়েন করলেন। এইভাবে স্কুল প্রথম আরম্ভ হলো। ইট ওয়াজ রিয়েলি এনজয়েবল অ্যান্ড আই এম প্রাউড অফ ইট, দ্য পার্ট অফ ইট। আমাকে এত সম্মান করে ডাকা হয়েছে, আমি জানি না আমি এর উপযুক্ত করি।
অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আপনার সুন্দর বক্তব্যকে আমাদের সবাইকে অনুপ্রাণিত করেছে। আমরা সবাই এই এইচবিএর সঙ্গে আরও উৎসাহিত হলাম আপনার জেনে। নাও লেডিজ অ্যান্ড জেন্টলম্যান, আমরা দুইজন সুন্দর বক্তার কাছে আমরা শুনলাম এইচবিএর সম্পর্কে অনেক তথ্য। সেজন্য আমরা তাদের কাছে অনেক কৃতজ্ঞ। Let's show our appreciation once again to both our speaker. এবারে আপনাদের মনোরঞ্জনের জন্য একটু ভিন্ন স্বাদের কিছু পরিবেশনা আছে। এই ব্যাপারে আমি আমার সহকর্মী মনিকাকে আসার জন্য আহ্বান করছি। মনিকা।
দর্শক মণ্ডলী, এতক্ষণ আপনারা আমাদের স্বনামধন্য বক্তাদের কাছ থেকে মূল্যবান বক্তব্য শুনলেন। এখন আপনাদের জন্য মঞ্চে নৃত্য পরিবেশন করবেন ইউসুফ রাতুল এবং সেজুতি দাস। থ্যাংক ইউ।
বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়।
বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়।
এখানে জ্ঞানের আলোর মশাল জেলে হয় রে সূর্যোদয়, হয় রে সূর্যোদয়।
বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়।
এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়। শিকড় শুধু মানবতার বৃক্ষলতা, এখানে শিকড় শুধু মানবতার বৃক্ষলতা,
এখানে শব্দ শুধু এখানে শব্দ শুধু বিশ্বময়ের বুকের কথা,
এগুলো রণাঙ্গনের রক্তে ভেজা সিক্ত প্রান্ত নয়, সিক্ত প্রান্ত নয়।
বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়,
এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়। এখানে জন্ম কত শিল্পী কবি সাহিত্যিকে, এখানে জন্ম কত শিল্পী কবি সাহিত্যিকে,
এখানে পটভূমি এখানে পটভূমি জ্ঞানী গুণী মনীষীদের,
এখানে থাকবে কেন আতঙ্ক আর হঠাৎ মৃত্যু ভয়, হঠাৎ মৃত্যু ভয়।
বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, বিদ্যালয় মোদের বিদ্যালয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়, এখানে সভ্যতারই ফুল ফোটানো হয়।
এখানে জ্ঞানের আলোর মশাল জেলে, এখানে জ্ঞানের আলোর মশাল জেলে হয় রে সূর্যোদয়, হয় রে সূর্যোদয়।